Welcome back to Let's Talk. We're here with Assemblyman Chivukula, who is involved with the utilities in New Jersey. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Now, you're the chair of the telecom and utilities?
Yeah, utilities, telecommunication, of course, and utilities that include anything to do with the energy, water, wastewater, and all those things, natural gas.
You know, solar and renewable, sustainable New Jersey is really big, but renewables are important. Tell me what's going on with renewables in New Jersey.
Well, first of all, in New Jersey right now, with this difficult economic situation, we have to create jobs. And the new green economy, making use of the renewable energy, whether for energy efficiency, energy conservation, or creating energy from renewable sources like solar, wind, biomass, all those things are going to create lots of jobs in the state of New Jersey. And we have passed a law in 2010 where New Jersey, the destination for solar energy, in that we are only second to California in terms of installations, but we are #1 in terms of the installations per square mile. And what happened is that when President Obama created the ARA, this stimulus package from the federal government, they started giving 30% cash grant, a 1603 cash grant, and that created just like the gold rush, they created a solar rush and renewable energy rush, and so the price of SREC started coming down. So I have a legislation right now trying to stabilize it, coming up with some ideas in terms of shifting some of the demand from the later years to the upfront years, and then trying to reduce the alternate compliance payment in such a way that net benefit to the ratepayers will be about $2 billion.
Wow.
And so that's what I'm working on. And
yeah, there seems to be a lot of solar companies sprouting out throughout New Jersey. Do you know what the penetration is of residential and commercial in solar in New Jersey?
Well, I think it's more, there are two types here. One is behind the meter, it's called the net metering. And if you have a rooftop and if you have a commercial property, then you can, or when you have a land, you can create a net metered projects.
Right.
But you also have what is known as grid supply. Basically, if you have a lot of farmland, whether it's the brownfields or whatever it is, if you are really wanting to install the solar panels, you can harness the solar energy. And when you look at it, there are a number of companies that are doing that. They're also with the stimulus package from the federal government and the SRECs and the accelerated depreciation, the residential market, a lot of companies are providing solar supply to the residential customers.
Right.
I think I would say the residential is probably under 30%, but large installations are commercial and industrial.
Tell me about solar farms. Are you referring to solar farms? I know that a lot of towns have sprouted up some solar farms. How many are there in New Jersey?
Oh, I mean, there are a lot of county-based programs where counties do a lot of them on the school buildings and county and municipal buildings, but also solar farms where you have a lot of land that you're not using for active agriculture. People are trying to create the solar farms. We have a lot in Hunterdon County, Warren counties, we have a lot in the South Jersey, a number of them. I don't have the exact number. Right. I think they're in hundreds. Right.
Some say that takes away from the overall look of the green acres, which what was intended to be. Do you feel the same way?
I think so. I think so. We need to think about. We have enough rooftops. We should make use of that. But also, you need to look at energy should be produced where it is needed most. And if you look at North Jersey, there is tremendous congestion. There is a lot of need for that. So we should first start with the rooftops in North Jersey, where you have a lot of buildings, and also Northwestern and the Central, you have a lot of buildings. Make use of that. Then you go into the places where you have you're not able to actively use it for farming
like
and other
field,
things. Also, you need to think about look also, because New Jersey is known as the Garden State, and at one time we were the food chest for United States. Now we cannot afford to move away from that and putting solar farms. Solar produces energy, but it still doesn't produce food on the table.
Right. What are the requirements? So, for example, someone has like a 5-acre piece of property that their house sits on. Can they put solar panels on that, or some requirements for the amount of space you need to put solar panels on the ground?
Well, this has to be designed basically where you can put the land condition and all that. But I think there are certain minimum spacing requirements are there. And the also most important thing you need to the interconnection. Where is the nearest connection? Are you connecting to the grid? Then you need to have nearest substation or transformers where you need to connect to. Or if you are connected to the meter, these properties have to be contiguous. Right. If you have more than these 5 acres, have to be contiguous if you're going to use the net metered projects.
Right. Several years ago, we saw a lot of solar panels on telephone poles. How is that technology moving?
Yeah, this is a program called Solar for All, which was approved by the Board of Public Utilities. The intent was to create about 40 megawatts of electricity, making use of all the assets of PSCNG, and the PSCNG one is the one who applied for the Solar for All program. And it's 40 megawatts, and we have to, it's been very successful, and we have to see how we can continue
What is that power? Like, does it go to the grid? What is that one panel?
It is connected to the distribution system, to the grid. And what happens is that those ratepayers also get the benefit for that, because you get, you sell into the PJM grid, and then overall bills, you know, the whatever benefit they get, the utilities, PSCNG for example, they have to pass it on to the ratepayers.
Now there's been a lot of discussion about windmills. What's the status of windmills? When we came into Atlantic City today, we're at the convention, we saw a few windmills right outside of the convention center. What about windmills throughout the state and even offshore?
Yeah, in order for the windmills to be onshore, we don't have that much of wind. You need to have very high-speed winds consistently. And when you go 15-20 miles off the Atlantic City in the coast, and you will see that you have tremendous wind. There's a class 4 wind. And so we do have a legislation which is passed into law, 1,100 megawatts of offshore wind energy. That has been in law, and it has to go through the permitting process at the federal government level, and it's going to happen. We also, as part of that, we also have coastal waters, which is up to 3 miles of water from the shore. That is all coastal water. That project is in the process. Hopefully it will happen by next year. And that's about 50 megawatts out of the 1,100 megawatts. Onshore wind, you know, when you look at the Gloucester County, you look at Cumberland County, where there is a wind available, I do have a couple of legislations. We are trying to see how we can encourage the wind. Actually, as opposed to solar panels, the impervious coverage, the amount of only the support, the base of the wind mill structure requires the land use. Rest of it is all open. And there is controversy about should we use farmland for creating windmills. If we are going to harness the energy, you know, you need to think about it. If it is only taking that much of space, and they do have green under the Green Acres program, you can do a 2-to-1 swap of the land. And so if we need to approach energy with an open mind.
Assemblyman, thank you so much for being here. It's truly been an honor.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We'll be back right after this.